And so we begin the final season of Motorsport Manager. Dragon Race Team China is back in rhubarb and custard colours, and I'll tell you what, I actually really like this. I think we had some better ones as I was flicking through, but honestly, I feel this colour scheme needs a revival. And also, if this season completely fluffs, then we got that. You'll notice, we have some extremely good stats here. Tyre wear is something I don't think our team's going to have to worry about all that much. We might have issues with heating, because if we have a look at our team, by the way, new drivers, both our drivers have really high smoothness stats. By the way, Barnaby White replaced Gaston Renew. He has a good marketability score. He is spoiled, however, so mechanics relationship's going to be down a little bit. But we should have also the light-footed super soft tyres, which, you know, is basically going to mean we might be just one stopping a lot this season. We start with maximum fuel, so in this instance, keeping the tyres going for a lot longer is going to be a huge benefit. We also do have reasonable fuel efficiency as well. 4 stars and a bit. 4-star tyre heating, so hopefully it won't be too bad in terms of getting the temperatures to optimal. And these are our car stats. We have the best chassis out of any of the teams, which we hope will make up for the fact that we are 6th overall in terms of actual car effects. So, let us move ourselves on then. So we have 11 days till Dota, where the only parts we're going to be improving are obviously the reliability for each of these. If we look at the next race, what do we need for that? Brakes are going to be important for the next couple. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go straight into designing a new set of brakes. And we shall tend to just go speedy with this, but I think what we'll do instead is take a red zone reduction and nothing else, and just get that built. So that puts us into the red. It is going to be a problem, but we have targets and things to set. Speaking of targets and things to set, we have to choose what our overall position we reckon we can get is. Now, honestly, this is going to be a problem if we go there. It's going to be, because I don't think we're going to make that, but this is the final season. We will go for glory. 3.3 million a race is what is going to come to us from this. That is a lot of money coming in, actually. That might actually just about keep us afloat, we reckon. Also, R&D facility has now been built. So as art, we have great component knowledge of all parts. In addition to that, we've just now finished designing those sets of brakes. So let's design another set of brakes here. They'll be done before the race as well. In this case, I think we'll just do the plus 30 and a red zone reduction. Again, we're just trying to concentrate on them a little bit here, and looking at that, that's quite a nice little effect we got there. We can spend money to actually massively reduce things. There's also plus 60. It's a shame we're not probably building to next season, because otherwise this would be a good little set of upgrades here. But we'll go for this. This won't be ready in time for the race, but well, maybe I do go for that. Yeah, go the 1 day, then add the plus 30. So that'll be done 1 day before the race, and then I can build the 3rd brake and go straight up there. Maybe a bit of an odd one to focus on to start with, but the next couple of races need it, so that seems good to me. And also, it's directly replacing components here, which are about as good. In fact, that one can be used straight away. And if we can get the next one up as well, that could be awesome. And god darn you complaining at the wind tunnel. Isn't it bad enough we're trying to upgrade everything else at the same time? The good news is, though, okay, you're quite unhappy that of our spending, but that's fine. I wouldn't worry. We got it. We got it. Don't worry yourselves. Upgraded staff sensors has now been built. So this now means that we have further boosts to driver fitness, focus, and also to our own staff effects here. And yeah, our headquarters is actually starting to look fairly good now. We're actually average, so 6th on the grid. Obviously, I wanted to go and upgrade the factory/design center, but we spent. I figured it was worth going all in with this particular season here. We could have gone on for a season 7. It was an option I was considering, but I want to move on, go on to some other games, possibly using more management games, and I didn't want to spend another season building up for this. For the same reason I didn't want to spend a season in the lower tier again just to get that build up, although it probably would have helped us out a lot more. So, yeah, we can still build a forecasting centre at some stage, we hope. Never. In theory, we do need to, but... Okay, so brakes 2 have now been built, so now let's go and build brake 3. So, looking at this, we can take the plus 50 on all dry weather tyres, which isn't a bad little pick. Unfortunately, it's not giving us any actual bonuses. So if we went for that, then went for... Well, I guess we could take the risk, the plus 50, because that negates that. But this will cost us. Actually, that'll cost us too much. I don't think we can afford that. That being said, if we go to there, that'll be done 9 days after the race. No, the increase in max is worth it. So there we go. So we spent 1.8 million. That's a lot. I concede this. That is a lot. But with any luck, that should be good for us. Let's also see how the improvements are going, because that's got us all into the 60s. We've found to be a bit higher, but that's as good as we're going to manage for right now, and at least all of our components are okay. So, yes, now the only option is fitting the parts. And where we think we can come. Now, we've already gone ambitious here, so I'm going to go supremely ambitious, and I'm going to put 4 for above. If we hit one of the targets, we would hitting both for 10th, so that's my thinking on there. I reckon with crashes and everything else that tends to go on in the first race of the season, that's possible. Tyre wear is medium, fuel burn is high, 28 laps, all the fuel in the car to start with. Let's go heavy on the super softs. We'll probably take some mediums with us. I don't think we need any... I don't think we need quite that many, actually. Go to 99. Okay, part fitting. So, you're unhappy. They both have equal treatment this year. Okay. Reckons it's okay. So, we're gambling a little with this, but let's go with that. That puts his... Didn't actually improve much of the happiness there. Let's trade out the front wing. We know it's one of the important components here. And the rear wing. Okay, so that makes Barnaby content. That makes... You're right, they have differing opinions on this, actually. Well, still, that is what we have done thus far. Let's go racing. 4 for above could be a really optimistic target. And also, I should probably plug in my laptop before I go too much further with this, let's play. There we go. So, the street circuit to begin. So, Barnaby White has a really high feedback score, and that will benefit us greatly here. I think our plan for the moment is, once we actually set the car up, let's see, where are we? We're in Dota, which is high downforce, of course. 1828, 21.2. 50.44 is what I've got here, so that's what we'll go with. 11 laps on the softs. Now it's 28 lap race, so we're not quite at the level there. We're going to have to use the mediums then. But I think we're still going to focus on the super softs, try to get the good qualifying position. So that seems like a reasonable plan, at least for you. Because unlike last season, we're probably not going to be focusing on both as much as we were. We pretty much went all in on the race last year. Now I think we do have to actually get some qualifying results in. Yeah, so about the same. 11. So in theory, that's near enough a race there if we can go soft medium. And in fact, I think that's what we probably want to do. We could do double medium, of course, which might be an okay strategy. But I think what we determined here is we're definitely going to be on the medium tyre at some stage. So what we'll do is we'll have Balcazar go out on the mediums. And we'll have Barnaby, who is the better feedback car, so he should hopefully get a slightly faster track on this. Up through the knowledge. So let's send out you. What are you doing currently? Race trim on the softs. Probably fine. Let's do that. Balcazar we'll send out also on a race trim on the mediums, and then we'll do a quali stint once they're back in. I could probably have started Balcazar on a quali stint, but there we go. The rhubarb and custard cars are out and away. We won't get too much of an indicator from this, of course, but we have the best tyre wear on the grid. Nobody should be able to make a two-stop strategy work here unless it's us. Oh, and actually now I'm liking this. So we now have an indicator of how fuel efficient we actually are on a medium run. So this is probably worth checking out here. So we know Balcazar's really good at this. So Balcazar crosses the line, plus 1-2. So I'm actually going to make a note of that. So Balcazar is plus 1-2. And now I'm going to make her go on high for the next run. I want to just compare things here. So high does lower a fuel count, but does it... Is a lap on, lap off actually the balance here? Actually, it's kind of looking like it's lap on, 2 laps off. If she's only at plus 9 after that. Let's just check where White finishes off. He's done 2, so we'll be able to double this up. But I think he's at plus... Okay, so... 0.9. See, I'm taking technical knowledge here, so we now know that he can do that. So let's go and put him onto high for the next stint. And I just want to... This is all comparison now, really. Okay, that is interesting, because what that tells me is that Balcazar can go on a medium run and have enough fuel saved up to do 4 runs at high. Of course, this would cook the engine at the moment, but this is vital for coming up. And in fact, actually, I think Balcazar's still got the benefit where she can push the engine without going overboard. So in fact, let's kick the experiment up a notch here. Is 0.09 enough to go... Oh, I don't think overtake's going to make it. Okay. So overtake is... Okay. So overtake is a lot, but high actually isn't all that high comparatively. This is useful information. White goes 4 fastest. Balcazar goes 4 fastest in place, but I know we've been pushing with that. Okay, so that's just useful info for that. How are we doing then? We got level 2 race trim nearly done, but we are starting to run out of time. So let's bring White in. She should hopefully finish up on the soft tyre at this run. And I think we might bring Balcazar in as well here. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to get too much else going, but at least having soft at 1, we got some benefit for qualifying. We know the mediums are going to be the tyres we want them more often, so... Okay, that's not too bad. 93. Maybe I do send him out some quali stints here. Maybe I put Balcazar on the same quali stints. If we can get to race 2, then maybe that would be fine. So, quali stints on the... I think we go back onto mediums now. So medium quali stints, and we will do some adjustment here. So let's lower the gearing back to acceleration slightly, and do a slight tweak to the downforce, possibly just moving it up down a little bit. We know it's not far off, so we'll try with that. Oh, and I did bring Balcazar in. I hadn't necessarily meant to, but that's fine. Okay. So some adjustments needed for Balcazar here. So downforce is actually not... Okay, so we need to lower downforce by a fair amount. That's okay. Let's click the gear ratios down 1, and let's then do that. That's probably going to be a reasonable approximation of where we need to be. We'll keep going with race trim, and we will keep going with the medium tyre, which I think is going to be our preferred one for the race now. We might still do a soft stint start, but we know we want to make the mediums work for us here. Because if we can go soft medium and nobody else can, that's a huge advantage to us. And if we're just pushing our advantage on the mediums as well, that's probably going to be do it. Question, I suppose, is whether or not we bring Balcazar straight back in and try to get this quali stint in. think we do, actually. We've got 10% race. Let's just send her in, immediately switch to quali stint. Do a quick tweak on a couple of things here. So we know lowering the downforce was the better preferred option, at least for one of them. Push that back. That's not a huge difference anymore. Go on to quali stint and stay on the medium tyre. Would we get a... I suppose we've got a chance of making that. It looks unlikely we'll get to quali 1, but we might as well have a go. It's a 150 lap as well, so I don't think you're going to get round in time. Still, I don't think that's been an overall bad session for us. We've gotten level 1 set up. We've got level 2 race trim, which is always a nice thing to have, is in the bag. That's probably all Balcazar's going to need, actually, so that will free up for tyre choices. White has the option, and will probably end up going mediums because of how we think the race will go. White's not quite as good on the tyres, it's worth noticing, but... Okay, 1 lap to go. Will he make it that far? What's encouraging is actually our position overall isn't bad. And we haven't really put in a solid quali stint in. That being said, 1.5 off the pace. We need to finish second in the championship, so... And yeah, it looks as if we're going to unfortunately miss out on getting that. Also, the downforce is still not perfect with either of them, so I might have to burn a quali session just getting that done. And we know we're only going to get 2 chances. Well, soft medium, why not? And soft medium, why not? Okay. So car setup. This is our best setup we've managed here. And looking at that, we actually need the downforce to be slightly higher than that. So let's do a tweak. Let's then do a couple of tweaks to bring that back in line. Tyre choice, new set of softs, which Balcazar has not used, actually. Okay, over to you then. So we've got 93 and 93. We know the downforce is better lower, so let's go and adjust that. And let's see if we can do enough tweaks to just get that in line here. Okay, we're going to try that. Now, we don't know which one of these is going to be quicker on this session, so we are going to have to stagger them slightly. We will take the qualifying session, and we will send White out immediately. We think Balcazar is, strictly speaking, the better racer, but White has the other advantages going for him. He's more of our technician in this series, so... Or at least fine, he's our analyst, and he should be able to tell us how good the track is. So... Auto on. For now, we'll auto on, because we're expecting this to be our warm-up. And we'll speed up to speed 3, and see how this goes. So, White ahead of Balcazar, hoping for a top 4 finish, which seems optimistic, because our advantages, our chassis advantages really matter more in the race. Tyre warming could be an awesome little thing for us to have as an advantage, and that's unfortunately not perfect. Because again, I think you need to find that the AI goes high-low. I would prefer to go low-up, but I might have to try and get that to work on my end. The good news is there's no traffic in front of either driver, really, except for themselves, possibly. Balcazar is faster than White by about 1/10, and other drivers have now moved ahead. So, unfortunately, this looks like the status quo from last season. We are fast, but not fast enough. 1.4 off the pace already. Well, Balcazar half a second quicker than White at least. Blanc goes faster. Blanc is not in a team we were expecting to be up there, actually, which is a worry. Rodriguez, we were expecting to be ahead. And we still got Pigway, Sharp, Sylvander, plenty of others, so we might struggle to crack the top 8 here. Lipponen is in 3rd. That is really bad for us in a lot of ways. Alright, let's send you straight back out then. So 96 is at least an improvement we can work on. So soft tyres, and this time we will probably try and handle this. So we need to have a go, because I've not really mastered this in some time, and as soon as he's gone smoothly, Yeah, auto off here. Let's bring it up, but try and keep it under the temperature slightly here. Okay, so up to medium. So brakes are kind of there. We just need to now get the tyres up, though. This is the trouble, though. And then now we've got to do the balancing act, because we need to be fast coming out of the corners and slow coming in. And slow now we're getting to the braking zone. And fast. And slow. And we're really struggling here. Okay, hold on. Let's get those brakes down a bit. Where's the acceleration point? This actually might do. Here comes the brake. Okay, getting there. I'm just going to have to speed. Okay, that's unfortunately not as easy as I thought it was going to be, and it really isn't easy. Alright, so we know Balcazar can do a lap. Let's actually send Balcazar out. So, new set of softs. I possibly mistimed that because I might have put somebody in the way here. Oh, I was worried I mistimed that. Okay. Well, White should be on an attack lap, so let's just see how this goes. I may really regret putting us to second as a target position here. Okay, Balcazar really needs to cool these down. The problem is, it's a braking zone right at the end of this, which is really awkward. See there, we just hit the braking zone. Did get a perfect on the tyre though, so at least that's going to be something we can hopefully have at the end of this. There is a driver in the way. Two drivers actually, including our teammate. So we're going to have to hope he's far enough ahead that he won't get in our way here, because we don't want to scrub the lap from Balcazar. Fastest, but 9/10 off. White, you need to move out of the way here. Okay, still fastest. Good. 1.1. If we can gain a few positions out of this, this would be awesome. 1.6. We jumped Piaget, but not getting much out of that really. Well, let's. Oh no! Quit the session, which I can't do now apparently. I can't quit the session after it's ended. Piaget is going to go faster than us looking at that. He's on 2 greens. If he scrubs the last sector though. No, he didn't. He was up to 7th. So we got some ground to make up then. 1.6 off the pace is more than we were last season. I do not believe that our manager will be very happy with this result. Okay. So here we are in Doha, requiring 4th or above to hit target. Let's go. Engine expert and the race trim bonus here. And meanwhile, we'll go medium race trim for Barnaby White, who I think might as well start on these mediums. So start on the mediums. Balcazar will start on the softs because 28 laps. I mean, she only has to do 1 extra lap, so if we can get her to lap 12, then we can go straight onto the mediums and make it work. It's going to be tricky, this one. We are definitely going to go attacking on the engine, though. We're not going to do our usual power start here, but that's only because I'm really worried about engine failures. So we're going to go push medium, push overtake for Balcazar at the start. And we need a good race here, really. So Balcazar starting the grid on 9th, in 9th. Needs to get ahead of Blanc on the mediums, but if you can do that, and unfortunately bogged down in the midfield battle, but was able to get past. That's good. We're ahead of the medium runners, which is where we need to be, and we're straight past you as well. Good moves by the Balcazar. Okay. So now that we've gotten that far, let's keep pushing for a little bit. There's no refueling, so we cannot refuel at all at the moment. But we want to at least push this first lap because we know we can just get a lot of fuel back later if we need to. White is losing ground. But we need to get these tyres warmed up, and then once they are warmed up, and that is a lot of cars wide there, the Alcazar up to 6th. Okay, not bad. Let's speed up time a little bit here. So we're ahead of the Ferrari. A Ferrari at least. Briefly. Okay, so that's our push lap done. Let's then go medium-high. We can always conserve towards the end. And we're going to go back to medium for Mr. White here, because now we need to conserve these tyres more if we can. Or they're at the optimal window. So let's try and keep them there. Balcazar in 7th position. Let's see what we can do. What are the other drivers doing? In fact, Sharp ahead of us is trying to... Oh, De Graaf has crashed. Where was De Graaf? Nowhere near us. Well, let's do some more conservation then behind the safety car. That'll allow us to push a bit further later in the race. Is anybody going to pit in front of us? I don't think so, because they can't make this work as a one-stop, surely. No, although I'm loading 81% is quite a lot higher than ours. So we hope for a good restart and then see what happens here. White could really do with getting past Ingledew and Schmidt here, because that is probably going to be an important battle for us. I'm noting also that Lipponen in 3rd in the car that was our rival car last year. That could potentially be a huge battle later in the season. Well, let's just see how this goes. So, Balcazar weaving back and forth in 7th position. The position which we pretty much defined as ours last season. But we hope to go at least 3 up from this, if we can. Hopefully some of these cars won't finish. We can also push on the fuel a lot harder than most of the other cars can, because Balcazar has that engine upgrade. Or at least that engineer perk, which honestly I think was mostly responsible for some of the best run last year. I also imagine that everybody's now going to have fuel in excess, so we will want to burn off some of that, and we're going to burn it off straight away, I think. Safety car heading to the garage. Okay, let's go back up to neutral on tyres here, and let's prepare. Not yet. Come on. Safety car's left us a while back. Okay, there we go. Okay, unfortunately, we might get mugged here. Still, we're going to go overtake high for the moment. Well, that's a bit of a squeeze, but apparently Balcazar is able to fight through that and stay in 7th. Oh, and in fact, no, we're going to go up to 5th, and if we can hold this on the outside, we're going to stay... Ah! That feels like we were mugged back to the same position we started in, but there's just... It's chaos in the front 3 positions ahead of us at the moment. Okay, Balcazar's back into 5th briefly. Is she going to stay there? Possibly. Barnaby White's in 14th position right now, and I think needs to worry about things a little more. 60%, 59... Okay, that's fine. We'll stick with how we're doing. Balcazar then in 5th position has now unfortunately got a 4-second gap back to the Ferraris, who unfortunately we're going to have to beat this season if we can. But this is going okay so far. Tyre strats looking alright. Not amazing compared to those around us, I guess, but I feel that we can definitely make that work. Tyres are getting nearly back to temperature as well. So maybe it's now the time to start conserving. Okay, brakes are feeling strange. That's not good. We'll go back to medium then. And try to keep that going. If we see any more problems, we're going to have to worry about that. I think Balcazar's got the brakes with the red line bonus, so at least she can go further on them before they start becoming a massive issue. Problem is that red zone is very, very nearly 0. So, gap 8.7. We got Surikov right behind us, putting pressure on. Balcazar's now starting to burn away a fuel, but we know this is fine. We can make this up. In fact, let's downgrade to high for the moment, just so we're not burning too much fuel. But I feel we got enough in the bank for this. We can also low in the pit lane to just add that little extra bit, so it all counts. Here, though, we're going to hit a problem soon. And the problem is, I don't think we're going to hit our target lap. We know the medium tyres want to do 15 laps. We can probably make them do 16, but we need to be on the mediums if we can here, because that just feels like the better race tyre for us. And the only real okay, this is the downside of conserving now. We're just bringing people back into the fight with us. Our tyres, though, are in much better shape than those behind us. And in fact, those ahead of us as well. Our tyres are in amazing condition. So a bit of a change of position. Surikov is the only person who has tyres that probably compete with ours. Your part's starting to look a little dodgy. That's not good for anybody involved, but I think we'll have to stick it out for the moment, at least until your pit stop window. At which point we'll probably have to try and repair everything. So I reckon Rodriguez is going to have to stop soon, because he's not in good shape right now, is he? Okay, let's also go overtake now. We might as well push while people are having tyre issues. Try and push out a bit more of a gap here. Keep our tyres on the point if they can. Lap 10 into the end. We've got 40% tyre wear, so we're actually doing okay here, I think. Let's go up to medium then. Neutral and start pushing back, because I think now we've got the tyre grip to start actually closing this gap to the leaders, especially as they've now pitted. Going to be behind on fuel, of course, but this is the whole point of this strategy, is that we can afford to push this. Our rear wing, though, is looking damaged, but we'll have to repair that at the time. That's cheap. That can be repaired. 14. Okay, they're pitting. Okay, that's okay. You're okay with that. Let's downgrade this to high. Downgrade that to conserve. We've gained a little bit of a gap to Surikov, who is not pitting yet. And look at that, we've got the gap right down. Sharp pits. In fact, all 3 of them pit. So Balcazar now takes control of the race, is in the lead, has a 2.6 second gap behind, because her tyres, unlike the people behind us, actually work. So in fact, based on that, let's go aggressive here. Yep, we're probably going to have to repair all of them, but hopefully they'll last to the end. I'm tempted to go another one. I'm just looking at the gap to Surikov, to Lipinen. They're actually pitting. Okay. If we go one more, the mediums will definitely make it. But I feel we can actually still stretch this. So let's instead... go medium here. Okay, no, go low. Pit here. Put on a set of medium boots, and we are repairing those 3. This is going to put us in a problem position, but I feel that's the best plan for right now. Meanwhile, White is slowly getting okay with this. We're going to lose positions, obviously. This is going to put us back probably massively in terms, not just to the hard runners either. But, oh, bad repair job. Okay, so we'll go medium neutral for the moment. Just try and see what happens with this race. So White now is ahead. And can definitely go 14-14 at the moment here. And in fact, there's now drivers that are starting to fall off a little bit. So, how do we want to play this? Do we want to start going a bit more aggressive? I feel that's not necessarily a good idea, but let's do it anyway. Be a little more aggressive on White's strategy. Meanwhile, we'll just let Balcazar do her thing, pick up some extra time. White up to 6th behind. Sylvander's the fastest one out there, but they might have to stop another time, which if they do, that's all the advantage to us. Here we go then. We'll say we'll pit. 14 laps to go. I think we'll prefer to be on the mediums again. Repair the brakes, repair the suspension, repair the front wing. Go with that. And I think we'll also push as well. Let's use up these tyres and see if we can jump over Gonzalez here. That would be our overall game, although I feel that because of the repair jobs we're going to have to make, that's not going to happen. Balcazar now in 10th position. So who's actually ahead of Balcazar, who's actually our worry at this stage? Surikov, Sylvander, Hamilton perhaps. But already we've got better tyre grip than Hamilton. And we're on faster tyres, so I did not low fuel into the pits, but then again, I guess at this stage it's not essential. The only reason I'd say that would be an advantage is because, of course, we want to burn his fuel away a little more, but it's fine. Meanwhile, Balcazar, medium. Behind 9th place, Sharp. No, Sharp is actually ahead. Who's that ahead? Okay, no, I was looking at White's screen. That's why I was a bit confused there. So Balcazar now approaching some back markers on worn hards. We should hopefully get past these reasonably quickly. I would hope so, because otherwise we're going to have some problems. But we are now 22.5 seconds behind the leaders. But our tyres will go to the end, and our tyres are not slowing us down as much. We do need to get past these people, though. We also don't have a lot of reserve fuel, which may become an issue here. These two are fighting with each other, and Fox is not looking like he's going to make it. And up the inside to go, Balcazar goes in 7th. Okay, 3 more positions to make. If we can overtake Ingledew, Schmidt, and Fox, that puts us into target position. And hopefully, some cars will start failing to finish soon. He's just hoping they eventually will. I think we'll also actually go a bit harder on White's car right now. Just see if we can keep those positions. Because he's currently, if we look at the drivers around him, that's Rodriguez and Piguet. Rodriguez may try and go to the end, and he's behind you at the moment. So let's push and try and keep that gap there if we can. No, actually, looking at the tyre temperatures, that's already going. Fox thankfully pitting out of our way, so that means then we can have a clean run at Hamilton. Who retires? Okay. So Hamilton's passed, we're now into 5th. So just one of those top 4, and 2 of those we think have to pit. So I think... Oh, Barnaby White's overtaking drivers in the pit lane, that's why. White also has a lot more tyre grip than Rodriguez. He won't last, of course, but he's on the faster tyre, he's already there. And good news from Balcazar's perspective, she's now hit the point where she's equalised her fuel. And is actually... Oh, it's losing time, though. Ingledew pits. So now that's cleaned up another car here. We're into 4th. Ingledew came out on the mediums ahead of us, annoyingly. Schmidt may try and do the same, but that probably means Ingledew has not repaired his car. Alright, let's go conserve high for the moment. We've got 2 laps of this currently built up, so let's try and conserve the tyres a little bit. I'm noticing they're actually going to overheating at the moment, so let's actually back off. We're in the target position here. I would take 4th from the race if it came to it. 9 laps to go, and in fact, yeah, you're kind of having problems as well. You, however, still need to get into the points somehow. We've overtaken Schmidt in the pit lane. So now that is us on worn mediums. Schmidt might actually come back at us here. Shirkov then in the lead. Interesting to see what he actually did and when he pitted, actually. Seems to be working okay for us. Unfortunately, we might not be able to keep this up for a little bit here because just looking at that, the tyre temps are going too low. We'll keep backing up with... White just for the moment. We'll make sure he can actually make it. Actually, he's got even less problems here. Okay, Barnaby White says gearbox issues. He's in 9th place now. If we pit, we can get him onto softs for the end of the race. Soft tyres, fix, fix. Yeah, fix both of those, pit for softs, and then we will try to attack. Okay, out he goes on the soft tyres. Let's go straight onto neutral medium here. He's got a few laps to go and attack with this. He might be able to manage it, but he's got to get back to 8th, of course, this season, because, of course, it's now only that. Balcazar's now in 2nd. I missed what happened there, but I imagine that Sharp has just had... Who was ahead who would have had to stop? Surikov. Oh, that was Surikov, who's now on soft, but so far behind. So now it's just this 5-second gap to Ingledo, and unfortunately, I don't think we can actually catch him unless he fails to finish. And he has got mechanical issues. Sharp behind us is a threat, but we've got better tyre grip, so... And he's a bit marginal on fuel, or just saving up fuel for his lunge, I guess. Medium neutral, we've got 6 laps to go. I think we can do this with those laps. If we can finish 2nd overall, that would be awesome. White then, we're about to see whether he can actually overtake. Actually, I don't know how good you are at it. You got a +2, but how's your actual ability? I have to check that somewhere. So, Balcazar fighting for 2nd place, hoping that Ingledo will fail to finish. He has issues. But with 5 seconds down the road, and our grip is looking marginal. Modi also on the soft tyre behind us is a potential problem. And suddenly we've got a caution warning on our front wing. This is true, actually. Attack high here. So do we gamble with this one? Because, of course, now it's at that level, it's going to fall off at some stage. A pit stop would mean we would not be able to... I don't know, because we'd only have 1 attack lap here, and we just lose so many positions. I think we kind of have to gamble with this one. Conserve the tyres and hope. And I know I mentioned a while ago, Megan commented that, is there a race I don't gamble? If you don't gamble, you stay where you are. And if we stay where we are now, and effectively on merit, that would be 7th, actually, because of all the cars pitting. If we stay out, we've got a chance of actually getting the win. Because Ingledo's in the same position, you would think. Same position. He's actually pushing. So... I don't know. I'm keeping an eye on it, though, because if that drops massively like a stone, we are probably going to have to bring him in. Barnaby White goes up to 10th. Needs 2 more positions, though, to actually hit target. He's behind Valdez and might get that position as well. Hard tyres is soft. Meanwhile, though, Balcazar still with Sharp bearing down on us. We got better tyre grip. Is the one thing that is keeping us potentially from fumbling right now. If that rear wing falls off, front wing rather, and looking at other parts, the other parts are dodgy. 3 more laps is what it reckons. Piguet, fastest sector time. He's on the soft tyres. He's now in free air. That's probably what the one thing we could do here. But we would not make up the time. The worst result would be Balcazar failing to finish, I guess. But the best result includes us winning. Okay, I don't think we can afford to keep that going for too long here. Thankfully, though, by doing that, it's apparently pushed Sharp back quite a bit on the track. Tire legs are getting bad. Okay, that is a point. So soft, conserve that up. Keeping the high push here. And I think we've got enough now that we can actually go overtake. Okay, then. You're not pitting. You're not going to pit, are you? How far back do we fall if we don't pit here? Rodriguez behind us. Lipponen behind us. Could we get out in front of him? Soft tyre. Front wing. This is going to be a tight one. Balcazar all-out attack. Ingledo retires. Oh, I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to do. Alright. Change of plans. So, yeah, clearly at the point where the person behind us was pitting, it's definitely worth changing the front wing, making sure we're safe. Definitely. Absolutely, without question. Especially as we can change the soft tyres as well. We might fall into Lipponen, Piguet, but we'd have at least a reasonable chance of securing the podium. With the front driver retiring, I think we go back up low and try to eat this 8 seconds away. So Balcazar leads. The gap to Rodriguez is 6.6. He's got no tyre grip, so he might have to stop as well. Really, our opponent... I did not change that, did I? Oh, God. I forgot to cancel the pit stop. Alright, fine. We did not need a mistake there. Alright, all-out attack. Brakes are not good. Okay, doesn't matter. This is a gamble now. I accept this is a gamble, but we have to push this. This is our one shot at the race win, and we could have probably had it if we hadn't have done that. So Balcazar, 2 laps, absolute attack. We can get... Yes! Lipponen is there. High. We're lowering... No, actually, we can go overtake, because that won't push stress the engine. Come on, Balcazar! Bring it home! Balcazar into first. If Lipponen does us a favour here by holding up Piguet, that secures it. It hasn't, so he hasn't. Come on. We just have to cross the line. We just have to cross the line here. Let's go neutral high. Let's reduce the risk. 1.5 is the gap. 1.5. Come on, Balky. Alright, what have we got from you? You've got nobody you can actually chase, so you go down a medium, back up here and just try to conserve some parts. Oh, actually, you are chasing somebody. Forget that. Change of pace here. How far behind are you? Not far at all. Overtake. Attack. Last lap. Have a go. But Balcazar, round the final corner, we have picked up a race win. For goodness knows how we managed to make that work, but we have. Oh, that was a stressful end to the race here. White is not going to make it, so we'll go back to low here. Not a bad result all round. We got a double points finish. We scored, I think, 11 championship points from that. Oh, that was a fun race. Stressful. That's a very stressful last 5 laps, though. Thankfully, the front wing held. The brakes held. And apparently, as it turns out, we did give the low red line brakes to White, not Balcazar. Which, if we had have done that the other way around, we wouldn't have even had that warning. We'd have been fine. Over strategies. Arguably, we'd have been fine if we'd have stayed out on balance. We also wouldn't have tried to stress all the parts in the last 2 laps. But geez, that was a possible error there. Doesn't matter. We still made it. White had an okay strategy, it has to be said. Swapped to the softs when we needed a repair job, which is what you have to do in the early races. Got to 7th. That's a reasonable result from him, actually. And it means we've got a good chance of double point scoring in the future. So no rules were broken. Championship points, ahoy. It's actually 12. For some reason you get 13, but it's actually 10-8. So it's late 2000... yeah, so it's mid-2000s point scoring then. So Dragon and Panther Team Racing both have 12, which is the Red Bulls effectively. So yeah, that was a good race for us, in all honesty. And that, at least, on race pace, when everybody's crashing, means second is not a ridiculous notion. Not a ridiculous one, anyway. So relationship with Chang goes up. Of course, White's stats have peaked, so that is as far as you go. Marketability increased because of the race win. 1.1 coming into the bank. We're still in the red, but I believe we have some new sponsors approaching. So we'll deal with that in a moment. So next time, more of this. Until then.